He's pulling it out. Oh, nail right in the finger. That's going to leave a mark. At our insurance agency, we help lots of construction companies and contractors with their workers' compensation insurance. As you can imagine, we see lots of injuries on construction job sites. In today's video, we're going to look at 8 job site accidents and talk about how much that could have cost the employer or the workers' compensation company. In this first video, it looks like a concrete mixer fell on a guy's leg. Now, if you're in the construction business, you don't have workers' compensation or employer's liability. You're taking a big risk because, as you can see in this first video, probably a broken leg here. We've seen workers' compensation claims for broken legs cost $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 because not only are you having to pay for medical costs, doctor's visits, potential surgeries, but also, depending on how long the person's out of work, you have to replace their income. Now, if you don't have workers' compensation, you're going to pay for that out of pocket. Something in this gentleman's hand. Can't tell if it's a nail or a splinter. The coworker looks like he's going to pull it out for him. Man, that had to hurt. If this guy goes to the doctor, workers' compensation is paying for this. Looks like he's in more pain than what they initially thought he'd be in. This could easily be a medical claim. Don't know if he's going to miss work for that. Looks like he's pretty tough. Really had to hurt. Says no injuries, but ladder accidents happen so often. If you write workers' compensation coverage for contractors, you know that ladder accidents and injuries caused by ladder safety happen nonstop. That's why we put a strong emphasis with our clients on risk management, and a lot of it pertains to ladder safety. We had a claim years back where a worker of one of our clients stepped off a ladder, landed strange on his heel, shattered his heel, could never work again. And that work comp claim wound up above $2 million. Ooh. So he didn't fall off the ladder, which most cases with ladder injuries or work comp claims relating to ladders are people falling or stepping off or falling off the ladder. But this one is mismanagement of the ladder. Luckily, it doesn't look like there was any injuries there. If there were, again, workers' compensation. Concrete can be very dangerous, and that is true. We see lots of work comp claims with concrete contractors. And it may not be a situation like this where it has to do with the concrete pumping or the concrete pouring. It could also be repetitive injury. Guys that do a lot of concrete work, they tend to get back issues, shoulder problems, knee problems. Those types of repetitive injuries are also covered by workers' compensation policies. So again, if you own a construction company, it's really important that you have a policy to take care of these types of things. Here's looks like someone working in an attic doing some insulation work. Ooh. Ouch. Fell through. Probably fell through the drywall, or if there was no drywall yet, it looks like he stepped through 2 parts of the frame. Again, not a situation that you would expect to happen, but if he's hurt, he needs to seek medical attention. Right when he goes to the doctor or the hospital, they're going to ask, was it a work-related injury? If he says yes, they're going to ask for the workers' compensation info from the employer. If the employer doesn't have workers' compensation, they're going to be liable because this person was working for that company at the time of the accident. Now, here's one that doesn't have anything to do with workers' compensation, but we see so many crane accidents, and this could be for many reasons. Could be conditions of the weather that day or the crane operator, but you can imagine how much damage could be done. And this would be a general liability claim because any damage resulting from the operation of a crane would land on the company's general liability policy, whereas any damage to the crane itself would be on the property or inland marine policy. Ouch. Ah. He's playing it tough. He's pulling it out. Oh. Nail right in the finger. That's going to leave a mark. Something that I talk to my clients about all the time is they say, well, should we seek medical attention? What if that turns out to be a worse injury than what it initially seems? An infection develops, damage inside the finger. I always tell my clients, make sure they seek medical attention. Let the work comp company know what happened. Because if this comes back, 3, 4, 5 weeks down the road or even later, and the employee says, I can't work now because remember that nail that went into my finger. Now it's caused a larger issue. You don't want to be responsible for that. You want to make sure that he had the medical attention and the work comp company was involved from the beginning. Don't try to take care of things on your own. To have workers' compensation, there's a reason for that. Let the carrier know, let them get involved. You never know what could happen or develop from an injury further down the road, and then it becomes a bigger problem. Oh, electrical. Now, electricians, they're highly trained, highly skilled. Normally, this type of stuff doesn't happen. One of the worst claims we ever saw at our agency was a gentleman who got shocked by an electrical line. Unfortunately, lost both arms, part of his leg. That claim was over $3 million paid out, not only for his medical, his surgeries, the amputation of his legs, but also to pay out to his family because he could no longer work and support his family. Looks like in this case, the injury wasn't as bad. Ooh. But it definitely hurt him. The guy wasn't happy about that one. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter how trained or highly skilled your employees are. Things happen, especially when it comes to construction. And we see it all the time. Make sure you're protected with the work comp policy. Make sure your employees are protected. Because again, they're working for you and they get hurt bad enough that they can no longer work and support themselves or their families. You're going to be liable. We've seen payouts, as I mentioned in this video, 2 million plus, 3 million plus. Freak accidents do happen. Remember that. Also remember to like this video. Please subscribe and notify yourself of any future videos that we release. I appreciate your support. Thanks again for watching. Take care now. Be safe.